Izzy, now Holly was talking about how you got with her and watched film in terms of fouls, and was that a good experience for you? Would you recommend that to your teammates if they're in a similar situation that you were in?
I think it's a really good idea to watch film, especially if you're not playing as well as you want to. And I just really need to understand like what I was doing to get in so much foul trouble these first few games. And it really helped that me and Holly went through all the film since the first game that we ever played and watched all my screens and how to get my fouls. Now that I was able to watch her, I was able to see what I can do to fix my screen action, my fouls.
Do you think it's something you would return to if you got in that situation again?
Definitely.
You weren't directly affected by it over the weekend, but when you see a lineup shift like y'all had against Texas, how much does that get your attention just to kind of know how important practice is and just...
I mean, it definitely shows you the other competition that's out there and what we're going to face and continue to face, being honestly as good as we are. And the teams that we're going to face, they're not going to take it easy on us. And Texas was a great team. Even though they were unranked, it doesn't matter. They were ready to come at us and play hard. So, I was glad to go up and get stuff like that, especially going into this, these Christmas games with Stanford.
Mm-hmm. But just the way the lineup was changed and everything, the way Holly shifted that, is that something that kind of gets your attention as well?
Not really, because we mix up teams all the time in practice, so it was kind of like we adjusted to what we needed on offense and defense, and Holly does that all the time in practice, so I was used to it.
Judging by the comments from Holly and maybe Ariel such after the game, I get the sense you guys don't feel like you've quite found your mark yet. You're still searching for your best play. What do you think is keeping this team at this point from playing its best basketball?
I think we definitely need to not try to play our ball in the first half. We need to definitely stick by the game plan that Holly gives us. Sometimes we get distracted and we try to match up to what our opponents give us, and we can't do that at all. We got to follow what Holly says, and she gives the game plan every time before the game, and we definitely have to follow that. And every time we come in the second half, it's like the things that we've been doing wrong is what Holly's been getting on at practice, and she says it every time. And when we go back out the second half, we fix it every time, but we got to do it at the beginning of each game.
So you feel like you guys are straying a little bit from what the marching orders are going into a game, maybe at the beginning?
Yeah, sometimes, definitely. When we start messing up, we're like, oh, so what we're supposed to do on that screen? I think we just got to pay a lot more attention to the game plan before the game, just so we can play a full 40 minutes. Because when we played in the Bahamas against SMU, we were just psyched and ready. We had filmed that ready that night, and the next day we started to go over personnel and everything. I think we were just really focused that last game.
Do you consider that the one game that y'all had, the one complete game you've had in terms of 40 minutes?
Definitely. I think everybody played well that game.
What was different that game? What can you look back at that preparation and whatnot for that game that you could draw on and maybe carry forward?
I think the team definitely heard a lot of what the comments were being said towards us from, their staff, and we just kind of really took that into heart, and we really just wanted to, prove them wrong, and we knew that we wanted to have a good time the rest of Bahamas, honestly, and Holly wasn't going to let us, forget that if we did slip up and lose, so we definitely wanted to play hard for her.
Just how tough is this week for you, kind of preparing for a game this weekend while also dealing with exams? How tough is it to balance?
School comes first, and the coaches know that, but definitely they're going to get us in this gym no matter what, so after practice, they definitely recommend us to go and study and everything. So I think that's why they're not taking that light, but they're being considerate of what we have to do. But now that exam's over, it's full-time basketball right now, so I don't think there's any more excuses.
These next two games, these two opponents don't obviously line up quite like anything like a Stanford. Are these next two games more about yourselves as a team and maybe getting better as a group or getting better individually?
I think so. I think Holly might start switching up lineups more often just so we can all get comfortable with each other. Our starting five is C, Meg, Shar, Rel, and myself. We've gotten comfortable with one another, but I haven't seen that a lot in practice, honestly. And I think Holly's doing it for a reason because you never know who we're going to meet in the game. And these teams that we're facing right now, you never know what they're going to throw at us. So it's going to be good that she can put whoever in and just play.